Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good evening all dear viewers. Welcome to my show, it's Sports Talk. This is your host Hussein Mahmood bringing you live debates on UC TV. Many thanks for all your support and encouragement so far. Please continue to like, share and comment on media content being published and subscribe to UC TV for ongoing notifications. We've completed 12 episodes so far and we're getting closer to getting to know why we are not yet seeing British South Asians breaking into top flight football. All episodes are available up on demand on my Facebook's fan page Sports Talk and UC TV YouTube with the green logo. Watch, like and share your views. We're breaking the mould and making the change happen. The topic we're pressing needs attention. So Sports Talk provides a platform to give our youth hope and added intelligence on and off the pitch so that they can advance in their developments in all areas and break through. Diversity, equality and a fair qualification system being our number one agenda. We've learnt so much so far and we've brought people who have shared their knowledge and experiences ranging from coaches, referees, semi-pro players and the management team alike. We are most definitely getting closer to breaking the mould and making the change happen. So please do keep involved. I need you and we need this change to happen because one man can achieve great things, but a team can achieve incredible things. Power of the people. Alongside myself today, I have two guests. Firstly, I would like to introduce Bolton's very own Bolton United's founder and chairman, recognised with BBC Sports Personality Award nomination. The Dedication Club chairman created the club to offer Bolton youngsters an opportunity he didn't have when he was young himself. It has since evolved into an organisation providing opportunities for volunteers to get involved too. In 2013, Bolton United Football Club went on to win the National Asian Image 11-a-side tournament and was crowned as the leading 11-a-side team in the whole country. Our very own Mr. Sal Docky. Alongside also is on the show today, semi-pro player having played for Salford City, Colne, Daisy-Hill, Nelson, Oldham, 1874 Northwich and has taken trials at Manchester United, Mr. Sakil Abdullah. So, without further ado, let's bring in both our guests and let's talk sports. Assalamu alaikum, gents.
Alaikum salam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, very well, thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Jazakallah, alhamdulillah. Have you watched some of the shows before, sir?
I have.
You have?
Yeah, I've watched a few episodes. Yeah.
Great, good stuff. Good stuff. Skill yourself? You watched some of the shows?
Watched a few, yeah.
Excellent. Look, it's a real pleasure to have you on board, guys. You've watched some of the shows. We've had a little brief discussion of what the Sports Talk programme's about. Like the introduction goes, it's about giving our youth today the added intelligence on and off the pitch so that they could kind of power ahead, build their confidence and be up amongst the best to be selected into some top flight football. So thanks for coming first of all. So that's that's the intro.
Take it easy, I'm a bit nervous.
We always look, it's all about getting your intel there. So I'd like to start with yourself first of all. I've mentioned there Bolton FC very briefly, really, the amount of work that you're currently doing and your nomination. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about that and what you're currently doing or what you've done at Bolton United FC and how you've kind of come about creating that club?
Bolton United started probably 1999, some years ago. I think it started off with a five-a-side football team.
Okay.
And it was a team what myself used to play in, but we took it pretty serious. And then what happened was
that just some local lads?
Yeah, just local lads.
Were you part of the five-a-side setup?
Yes, I was.
Right, okay, so
yeah.
it was yourself and four of the lads.
So it was a bit of fun first of all, and then every season we used to sit down and see where we're going wrong, and then we used to nominate a manager to take it forward. To take it forward and everything.
Okay.
So I think I can't even remember that year back. I think I got nominated in terms of being a manager or something.
Out of the five lads, right?
Yeah, I think there was about eight, nine of us.
Okay.
We were getting on, not getting on, but I think I wanted to take it to a different direction. And I think it started off from there. And I took it over, made a few changes, got rid of the old, brought some new young lads in. And we started playing in our local power league.
Okay, again, five-a-side?
Yeah, five-a-side.
Yeah.
And the key for me was I needed to bring a different dimension of football.
Okay.
And it's something what I kind of believed in terms of, playing into the games and seeing other teams play and kind of setting up my own style of football.
Okay,
and that was a hard bit, but I had a lot of dedicated young lads coming through.
Okay, can I just ask you that? So was that the kind of the format of football in terms of 5, 7 and 11? Or was it the style of football, would you say? That you
I think to me at that moment in time, the style was very, very important.
Okay.
Because it was all about 5 and 7 when I was growing up.
Sure.
And
well, it has been a lot about 5 and 7.
It was all 5 and 7. But just before, when I did take over, I used to play a lot of 11-a-side. I played for a few local teams and everything. So I never at that time thought that one day in the future we'd have an 11-a-side team.
Okay.
So we went into.
It was too far to think.
Yeah, it was too far to think of. I was pretty young as well at the time. So we started off with the 5.
Okay.
And the whole idea then was to find a new way, even playing the 5-a-side. Because when I was playing, we always used to fall short. We used to finish 3rd or 2nd or 4th.
Okay, all right.
It was just, and then once I took over, I'm one of them. I once I take something over, even at a younger age, I go pretty deep into
get right into the roots.
Absolutely, okay. Why is it not happening? Where we're falling short? What is it? The skill, or is it the quality? Is it the mental state of a player? The mental state of the team? Where do I fit this player in? The culture side of it and everything. So, being ruthless as I was, I got rid of a few players, and then I went around looking. In the local area.
Head hunting.
Yeah, so we brought a few players in, and then. But the good thing was back then, with the team I had, I used to have a lot of meetings at my own house.
Okay.
So I can still remember I used to put a bit of paper on, just like paper onto the wall, and we used to formation and in terms of what we need to do, where we're going wrong, the fitness side of it, and we can do that like 2 or 3 times during the week. The players are very dedicated in terms of what we wanted to do.
Sure.
And once you have that, you can go to that next step in terms of what you want to achieve. So even going on to that in terms of where Bolton were in the northwest in the football side, I always thought Blackburn and Preston were light years ahead of us. Okay. So when we used to go into the tournaments, there used to be Santos, Canaries, they were the same teams always.
Yeah, them names ring a bell.
I can remember even Shaky being in one of the teams. And
Shaky, but has he got to mention again?
We've got to mention Shaky. There was Shaky.
I can't get him off the show.
Then there was Junaid from Preston in Canaries, Gizmo, and I used to look up to them, even though I think I was older than them. But that was the trend.
Did you feel that the game style and the manner in which the games were played was of a higher level as such?
At that time, Canaries and even with the 5-a-side and 7, I think it was, I think they were light years ahead of us.
Did you kind of get that? Did you then, knowing that gap was there, is that your driver, was it then?
Absolutely, that was the driver, and Shak will tell you, once I put my head to something, it's if I'm going to put time and effort, it's all about winning. Second doesn't even come into it. And then at that time I said to myself, right, this is what we need to do. We need to go to Preston or Blackburn. We've got to go to these tournaments.
We've got some kind of gauge,
absolutely,
some kind of benchmark.
Yeah, there was a benchmark there in terms of where we needed to be. And we went through a journey, and we succeeded. So So even
what was your definition of success at that stage?
At that stage, Hussein, the first thing was to win the league, the local power league.
Was that the power league? Was that the KJB leagues?
No, this was the power one. Okay. The JGB come later on.
Right, okay.
We moved to them later on.
Soccer Dome, right?
No, that come later on in the journey. First was the local power league.
Right.
So it was the one we were always falling short.
Okay.
And it was the same team winning it over and over again. So
how many seasons did that continue?
I think there used to be, 2 seasons in
you
a
see,
year.
because the reason why I'm quite interested in so a couple of seasons.
The winter and
you have
the
like
summer.
2 seasons each year.
Yeah, and then in between they used to have the local kind of local tournament or something.
The reason why I'm very interested in that, and my viewers will know as well, that we are obviously breaking the mould here. You know, we're making things happen, movers and shakers, we're getting involved and breaking the mould. For me, that sounds like you're breaking the mould there, Sal.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, you started up from A level and we'll continue on with where Bolton United is right now. But how did you find that breaking the mould, and what kind of encouragement were you giving players that weren't seeing the vision as such? At that time, you're saying how ruthless as you are, you got rid of a few.
Yeah, I did. Nothing personal, but
it's merit-based, right? It's all performance-based and merit-based.
Once you start something, you want the best for your team. At that time, we were a team, we weren't a club. And we just went through this journey, and the players what we had, they were really good at that time. But they were all local lads, and it just made it easy for us.
Did you, right? Yeah. Did you find it that you was kind of, were they coming out with the passion, or were you kind of drilling it in them, or was it kind of a 50-50 kind of?
No, they were always on time.
Yeah.
Any meetings at home. I think no one used to do that. I think people used to laugh at us as well. And having meetings at home and the word gets around, I think they're probably taking football a lot serious. But I think it was the move forward, and we created our own style. We had, I can still remember, I think we worked on these 2 styles of playing football. There was a number 1, and we used to call it, during the game, I used to say switch to a number 1 or number 2. Yeah, right. And when we used to play teams, and we used to say number 1, number 2, a lot of teams didn't even know what was going on. And it worked for us, and it worked wonders for us. And I think,
yeah. You think sorry, go on. So yeah. You think that's obviously the one that got you through into the next stages, right? So
yeah.
From that 5-a-side power league, then where do we go from there, and how does Bolton United?
I think from there we won the league 3 or 4 times consecutively, and this was way before Shak's time. I think Shak, and then they come later on.
Shak, we'll get to you in a minute, my friend. Just hang in tight there for us.
I'm enjoying myself listening to
it. Good.
Yeah. I don't think Shak.
I've heard this a lot, but it's good to listen to.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Shak come obviously later on into the 11-a-side thing, but through them we won the league consecutively at the local leagues. We won a lot of local tournaments.
Is this the one you were struggling in before?
Absolutely.
And now you've overcome it.
We went unbeaten a few seasons. And the good thing was, there was a team, I think they were called DNFC. They were very dominant at that stage.
In Bolton, right?
Absolutely, yeah, in that league. And for me, the goal was, we actually retired them.
All right, you put them to bed.
We put them to bed. We didn't want to know anything. But at that stage,
definitely breaking the mould there. So
yeah. So at that time, we thought, right, we need a different challenge. And then, but even within the local community, we used to have a tournament every summer up at Hibbert Street Community Centre. We had our own little mugger there. I think Shak must have been growing up there. He's probably been watching us or whatever. I think we had a record there. We were unbeaten there. And I think it was just a style of football, the 1-touch, the 2-touch football. But that was really hard to bring into the players at first. I think the training drills.
I was going to ask you, because that's what you've taken from 5-a-side.
Yeah.
Ultimately getting
bring it into the 7, then we did a lot of 7. I think we came to Blackburn, we won a few council relief tournaments in Blackburn, then we went to Preston, we won a few there. I think that was accomplished, and I think we needed another challenge. And I think at that time, Soccer Dome up at Trafford, the JGB one.
Chill Factor.
Next to Chill Factor, I think that was the next thing. I can still remember going there.
And yes, a good talent in there. I actually played there.
There was some semi-pro. They used to come there just to keep fit and everything. They had their own little team.
You had City and United.
That's right.
So did you take the team over there?
So we did that, and that was hard. The first thing what was hard, but this is where the design, the dedication and everything come into it, was none of the lads used to drive. They were pretty young, they were still about 16, 17, and I can still remember I used to put 6, 7 in my car. we used to drive down, and the other thing was...
I don't think anybody heard that.
But the other thing was...
The good old days, eh?
The good old days. The financial situation was a bit different as well.
Yeah, sure,
I used to kind of pay for it myself as well.
Okay,
a lot of the times, and the subs, and it was a bit difficult. But the next stage was obviously to conquer JJB. And I can still remember the first game we had, and the difference was from going from the local power league to JJB was the surface.
Okay.
So the surface up at the power league was still AstroTurf.
But it was sand.
Yeah,
Okay.
sand based.
The crazy stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But when we went to the other one, it was more of a 3G. I think they just introduced the 3G version of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the first game we played, we got thumped, I think 11-0. I had the strongest team out. I thought, bloody hell, what's happened here? And I thought, right, okay, let's go back. Let's see what
back to the drawing board.
Yeah, because it was more faster on the
sand,
local one,
the local team,
sand-based.
because that's just fitting across, isn't it?
So we got used to that. But even before we got into that, what I did, I booked the venue during the week before the league game, got used to it, and then we started it off. So even then, I think there was a team called Withenshaw and a few others, they used to win it every year. So we had a few battles with them. I think we finished second.
Okay, good achievement on that league.
Yeah, even
the bloody
the first season,
there, and
we still finished second, and then my memory jogs me right. We went on a good run. I think we won that 3-4 times in a row.
Okay,
but
you won the actual Manchester one as well?
Yeah, so they put us in the fourth.
That's a pretty good achievement,
so
because there's decent standard there
absolutely, as well. Yeah, and they put us in the fourth, and we got promoted. We got into the third, we got promoted. Second promoted, obviously first promoted, then we got into the Prem. And I think we won it 3 or 4 times.
At the Prem?
Yeah, and I think during that time, FC United just started up.
Okay.
So they had a team playing in just to keep fit and everything, and I think we played them a few times. And if I can remember the first time we played them, in the fancy tracksuits and everything, and I thought, right, this is
gear.
Yeah. So I thought this is going to be a challenge. This is going to be good. And I think we battered them about 6-0, 6-2, or something like that. Excellent. So that's when I knew that there's something about this team. And there's a lad called Anthony there who used to run the place. He used to work there. So Anthony used to come and watch us every time we played there. So even people who were working there used to do the jobs and everything and quickly come down and come and watch us. And that was an achievement in his own. So once I started talking to Anthony, and Anthony goes to me, Sal, can you do me a favour? I said, yeah. I said, next time you're a player short, give me a shout. I'll come and help you out. So I looked at him. I said, yeah, I'll give you a game. Yeah, no problem. But 3-4 weeks later, we were a player short, and I said to Anthony, I said, have you got your boots? He said, yeah. I said, I'm player short. Do you fancy a game? He said, yeah, come on. And Anthony opened my eyes. This guy was next level.
Right.
Okay. I didn't know the info on him. So after the game, we started talking. Apparently he was on the books for Man United. I think he did his knees or something. So he was playing semi-pro for somebody. And I'm talking to Anthony and everything. And that's when I thought where we need to be.
We need to be again.
Where I need to be, where I need to take this now. And I think there was another achievement, what we did there. There was a Umbro 5-a-side tournament.
Right, I remember that tournament.
Yeah, it was pretty big at the time.
Yeah.
We entered it, and that was at Soccer Dome as well. I think Anthony played for us in that tournament, and we actually won it. And we went to, obviously, the new Wembley Stadium. So that's an achievement in its own as well, just
was
even
that just
walking.
for the celebrations as such for the Wembley Stadium?
What do you mean?
After the tournament you've won it, did you celebrate?
No, it was the regional, so it was the national tournament.
Right,
so we represented the Northwest.
Right. So is this 11s?
No, we're still at 5 and 7. We've got a lot. We've got a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
So we went through a journey, and it was a good day out.
Can I just say, Sol, from me, that's a lot of experience. I know we've just kind of, there's a lot of hard work and a lot of, dedication required, and you've pulled players together, you've changed the 5-a-side format, and you're now creating a new brand of football, which is turning out to be quite effective.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of questions or what kind of energies or what kind of passion were you putting into the youngsters at that stage? Do you feel that Bolton already has a community of footballers and it was, you know, kind of biting at the bit to get there, or did you have how much of the moulding did you actually have to do?
We did have a lot of footballers and everything, but say you had a tournament in Blackburn or Preston and you have 30 teams, you probably have 15 teams from, or 20 odd teams from Blackburn and Preston itself. Probably only 1 or 2 teams would probably turn up from Bolton, and that was a challenge for me.
Right. Okay. So the pool of players wasn't.
It wasn't a problem, right. No. But the other thing what I believe in is you want to create something, and by creating something, if you're winning things, you're creating a brand. People,
yeah, absolutely.
They want to be part of you, and I think the name. We were a team then, and I think in terms of what we were winning, the local teams, the leagues, local 5-a-side, 7-a-side tournaments, but most importantly, it was the way we were playing football. I think that brought us.
Was that the drive?
Yeah. So even then, even though when we had a 5-a-side and a 7-a-side team, I can still remember training. We can have 15 to 20 players turning up for training just to be part of. For Bolton United.
Excellent. So if you was to put that in a nutshell, what were you doing? What was the way you was playing, and how would you define that? Is it?
I think the training drills. I did a lot of 5-a-side drills, and it was the same thing over and over and over and over again.
What you found you was doing previously, while you were training with somebody else, you found that the training was repetitive.
No, I did. It's a bit boring, but it helps. Do you know what I mean?
This was before Shak coming to the 11-a-side thing. That's completely. That's we'll talk about that later.
Because I'm trying to understand here, Sol, and that's from my position here, and for my viewers, all of my viewers, is how do we get into top flight football? How do you change your mindset, the brand, the way you play, and how do you instill that belief in your players, and how do you get that passion out of them? So it's something you've done there, Sal. That's obviously changed things. It's turning into a winning team. You've created a brand as such in the way you play. I'm just trying to find out, was it in the training that you done that, or was it, the meetings?
I think first of all, with any manager or any football club or any team starting up or whatever, whoever's running it, you've got to have that passion and determination yourself in terms of what you want to do. You've got to have your own philosophy, and it's happened to me where when I thought there's nothing more to accomplish from 5-a-side and 7. In terms of I needed another challenge. Okay. And I said that to the lads who were with me at that time, that this is it, this is where I stop. You either come with me to a different journey, or I need to go out and see what I can do in terms of what challenge how good I'm myself in terms of where I can take this brand of football. Can I do it at a 11-a-side level? But it's something I believed in, and if people believe in something they want to accomplish, then I think you can.
Keep hitting the heights.
Yeah.
Keep working on yourself, working on your vision, and continue to explore the opportunities. That's great. So, from the 5-a-side to where we are now, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to pause that for now because I want to move on to the 11-a-side.
Yeah. And
I'll move on to Bolton United FC, where they are, with the journey they've come from. We've mentioned the 11-a-side Asian Image Tournament, crowned champions in the country.
Yeah.
It's a massive accomplishment. So I'm going to pause that a second. Just for my viewers, we're just going to go on a short break. Stay tuned with us. We'll be right back. Assalamu alaikum, all viewers. Welcome back. It's your host Hussein Mahmood on Sports Talk. We have our guest today, Sol, who's the chairman and founder of Bolton United FC, and a special guest and player, semi-pro, Sakil Abdullah. Just before the show there, I was just leaving off talking about moving on to 5 to 7-a-side football there. Sol, so do you want to tell us a bit more about that transition and how you got your guys motivated, geared up to hit the grass?
So the end was, well, I needed another challenge. So I think how it happened was, I think I had a meeting and I said to the lads that this is where it's going to end.
Okay,
and where I got stuck was I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to get into 11-a-side, what to do, where to get the pitches, how to speak to the FA. So I was basically on my own.
Okay.
But there was, and I have bare respect for this guy. He's called Nav, Big Nav from Great Lever, and all respect out to him. He's a good friend of my brother, and I think he started off a team in
Great Lever in Bolton.
Yeah,
right? Big Nav, right?
Big Nav.
Big shout going out to Big Nav.
And
I like giving shout outs on. If somebody's done some hard work, a lot of
yeah,
effort,
I can never forget too, and I can go on air and say this, that if there was really a founder of what we've done, I've got to give big shout to Nav. Because I think he was very instrumental in terms of what we did, and I think he kept saying to my brother, said, "Tell Sal to manage this team, tell Sal." But I didn't want to go into a different environment.
Keep the culture.
Yeah, because I worked with a lot of. It was basically Indian Gujarati lads. What I had.
Yeah.
In terms of that, and I wasn't kind of 100% comfortable at that time because they're very young as well in terms of going out in a different environment and seeing what's happening, because as you can see, I'm one of them. If you want to take something forward, it's got to be serious. It's not for fun, because if you want to play for fun, you've got your local, you can book a 5-a-side, a 7-a-side, get your mates down and obviously have a game of football. If we're going to do something, you want to do something, and it was something I was already thinking about, but Allah knows best. Obviously he had his own plans, and I think he had it kind of ready for me. So Nav once rang me and he said, "Sal, come on, you need to come and have a look." Yeah, I need to come and have a look. And one Sunday morning, I think me and my mate Faz Matada, I think we're just roaming around. I don't know what we were doing on a Sunday. And I said to him, "Come on, let's go down." And I said, Nav keeps calling me over. I said, let's go and have a look, what it's all about. And we went down, and I think I timed it right. They were playing in Horwich, if I can remember. And it was half time, so as soon as Nav saw me, he just said, "Right, Sal, come here." And I thought, no. And then I said, "Nav, no." He said, "Come here." And he said, "What do you think?" I said, "I've just got here, Nav. I probably saw you 5 minutes or whatever. But now you need to understand that I've never managed an 11-a-side football team." So I thought to myself, who am I to kind of advise these guys in terms of what they're doing right or what they're doing wrong? Do you know what I mean? Because I've come from 5-a-side to 7, and alhamdulillah,
although the technical ability is there,
I built a reputation in 5 and 7 locally in terms of people knew Bolton Asians. Now we're still Bolton Asians, and I think I can remember Nav. I think later on we had a chat. He said, "So why do you not come over? We train on such a day." And so while we were looking, there were people, there were players having cigarettes and God knows what. And this might not be for me.
Not a professional type of culture.
And no disrespect to them at the end of the day. They were just playing there for fun or whatever. And then me and Nav had a good chat, and I said, "Nav, if you want me to take over," because Nav's well known, he's well respected and everything. And I said to Nav, I said, you need to take my back. You take my back in terms of if I'm going to come here, I'm going to manage it my own way. So if I'm going to fire, you're not going to do. I said, I need you in my corner. You need to fight. Just stay with me. And so, and I've said, "Yeah, no problem. So let's do it." And I said, "Right, come on." I can remember first, second training section, and then it was all happening. And then we started to make the changes in terms of what we had to do. And I think we went into Sunday League, and I can still remember, and this is where I think it got the better of me, and I'm not bragging, I thought this is where I can do this.
Is this that challenge that you were looking for?
I think there was an incident in the changing room, because all the drills were based on 5-a-side, 7-a-side format, And we were getting there, and I think there was a player, I don't want to mention no names, whatever, I think he turned around in front of 18, 19 people there, said, your training drills, they're not going to do.
They don't fit the format.
They don't fit, we need to go long, we need to win the second ball.
Hoof it.
We need to do this, we need to hoof it. You can't bring this 5-a-side, 7-a-side format to here. But this lad was older than me. I think he was the only older player in the change.
He was a bit of an influence on himself.
Absolutely. But he was good, he was a good player. I think he had a good background.
So that's the start of it, is it? Is that where...
Yeah, and I think he
kind of take over?
Yeah, I think he turned down in the changing room and he said, right, it's not
how
going to happen.
long ago are we talking here, son? Oh, it looks like we're going back in time machines here, so...
We've got Shak into it. So we're going to run out of time.
That's what I'm saying, because that sounds like to me that's the start of it.
Yeah, before Shak's time. I think this is where Shak...
How long after did Shak come in?
I think not long now. I think it's Sunday League. Were you there?
No,
it wasn't. It was after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Preston.
It was. Yeah, he came through the Preston, and I think that's when I thought that's the first time in a changing room from 5-a-side setup to the 7 to the 11, somebody's actually answered back, and I thought, right. I went all quiet. I said, what do I do? I said, if you cave in, you're going to lose the changing room. And you need to show something about, you know. I said,
fight or flight, is it?
So I said to the guy, I said, listen, if you don't believe, or if you don't believe in the philosophy, or in terms of what we're trying to create, or in terms of what we're trying to do, then there's the door. I said, you need to go. I looked at Nav, I said, no. I said, yeah.
You're either on it or you're off it, right?
You know what? Before we bring Shak into it, then we went on. And it was the fourth, third, second, first. We won it. We won the local cups. And dirty, you know, Sunday League dirty, but the brand of football.
It was a new style of football. Your competitors weren't used to this, yeah.
It was even on bumpy pitches. We were putting 15, 16, 20 passes together.
That's what I'm thinking, because you're bringing 5 and 7 into 11.
We've got a lot of experience.
You're talking triangles, quick passes.
Yeah, I think some of the local other football teams were folding, and I think we got 2 gems out of it at that time, Madge and Ayaz. And Ayaz is still with us. Madge still comes and watches us, and I can remember, because when we had the 5-a-side and 7-a-side team, Madge used to always drive down. You know, Ayaz and Madge used to drive past my dad's house on a summer's day. I might be outside, and Madge used to always stop his car. So we need a game with you, 7-a-side. I said, no, actually,
I'm done with 5 and 7.
No, this was years ago, and that's after. So we played them, and that's when I got to know, obviously, Ayaz, and he's been the rock of Bolton United.
Yeah, he's still playing.
Yeah, he's still playing.
Yeah,
right,
so fantastic.
Tell Shaquille very patiently been waiting.
Yeah. So let's bring Shak.
He's quite intrigued as well himself.
Right, so we've done the Sunday League and everything, and then we got into the Mid Lancashire League, and that's when.
Mid Lancashire League.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So we accomplished. So we needed a better challenge, better pitches.
So you've done the Bolton thing with that.
Yeah.
Right?
So we've gone through the channels 5, 7 local tournaments, and then bringing that brand into 11-a-side.
Hey, so I'll tell you what. From what I'm getting, you've smashed the 5-side stuff.
Yeah.
You've absolutely done the number on the 7s. You've gone out to Umbro competition tournaments in Manchester, which I've played. And I'm sure a lot of viewers and a lot of semi-pros would agree that that's a pretty decent standard out there, 100%. And you've pretty much done quite a lot. Now you've gone into the 11-a-side.
So we're going to fast forward it now, because
you know what I mean? You've done really well. I want to just mention that. Mashallah, it's great work. Great work. I mean, I'm sure your community appreciates you.
Yeah.
I'm sure the players appreciate you. Your accreditations speak for themselves. Yeah. Being a footballer and all the professions that I've won before, I very much see that the branding and the style that you're bringing about is breaking the mould, and it's been proven out to be effective. How was Shak fitted in to that culture that you created? Should we let Shak answer that question?
Okay.
Yeah, is that alright, Shak?
Yeah, that's fine.
What have you? Because I've taken quite a lot from that, Shak, and obviously, if you know Sol yourself personally, and you played in that establishment.
Yeah.
How have you felt on the grass, and what do you think that you've achieved so far? Because you've had some trials at Manchester United.
Yeah, to be honest, when I first started, I was quite young. My dad told me to 5, 6 years of age. I got playing, I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I was playing at Lady Bridge football club.
Okay.
And then I moved. Then I got scouted.
Can I just ask you something? You always played 11, or did you?
To be honest, I started. But yeah, I did.
Yeah, are you one of these pedigree 11-a-side players? Yeah. No 5, no 7.
5 and 7 when I was quite young.
Okay.
But then
your focus has been on grass.
on grass from a young age.
Good.
So I went there from quite a young age. So from there, from Ladybridge, I got scouted for Interleague, which is like all the best players in the Northwest.
Excellent. Okay.
And then we combined as one, and we played against like the best teams all around the country.
What's that, like 15-man squad or something in that?
Yeah, 15-man squad from Manchester, Liverpool, everyone.
In the Northwest.
Won and playing teams around the world, such as like Spain, all the best players from Spain.
Well, around the world teams are coming out to play this 11, 15 man in the Northwest, yeah?
Yeah, so that's how it started, and then I got into doing that, playing that tournament. From that tournament, I got scouted for Manchester United. From there,
okay, excellent.
That's the team I support as well. So
excellent. And what position do you play, Shak?
Back then I was a striker in a 2, but then obviously I started moving out to the left, more to the left hand side. Yeah. Excellent.
So tell me your experiences at United. I mean, your trials there, and how did you feel against your peers and other people trying to get to that top flight position in your competition? But obviously being
back then, I didn't look at it that seriously. To be fair, because I was a kid then, and it was my favourite club, and I just thought, you know what?
Go.
Yeah, and he was like, I want to get that lad down to United. I was so happy my dad got me the whole United kit when I was going there, and it was just
so big up shout to your dad and that. Alhamdulillah, has to be. Parenting is I've realised on the shows, if you watch it, that parenting plays such a massive...
You have to respect your parents.
You have to respect your parents, you played a big part. Go on, Shak, sorry.
No, I just think it's a big thing, because I think that comes into going to professional level, because not many Asian people's parents give that support. They want them to go into like other things such as like
academic and professional routes.
Yeah, but my dad, he pushed me all the way until I was like, I'd say 16, 17. That's when, to be honest, throughout that period when I was at United, and I was at Oldham and stuff like that, after I left Oldham when I was at 50, I lost the love for football.
Coming into there, when he's mentioning parent, we've got another player who plays for us now. Too much of that. Yeah. He was on the books for Bolton. Yeah. And his dad's a very good friend of mine, Siraz.
Bolton Wanderers,
he was on the books for Bolton until he was 16 or something, 18, alright?
Yeah, he was.
And his dad used to take him to a lot of places.
Yeah, with the parents. So I just want to pick up on something that Shak's mentioned there. I mean, I've got to have to break you down on that, Shak, because look, I've spoke to ex-professionals, as you've seen from the show, and I speak to a lot of people generally as well. And what we're doing here in Sports Talk programme really is giving our youth that encouragement, as we mentioned, taking a lot of insight from you guys. Alhamdulillah, so you've got great experience there, coaching side of it. And when I'm talking to players like yourself, Shak, and this is, you realise from my show, I'm quite passionately driven about this. And one thing I can't continue to see, and my viewers would also stress this, is we're falling off the cliff. Yeah. We're getting to a certain position, we're getting into them, pathways, and we're coached right, and everything associated around that. But when you're saying to me that you lost the love for football at the stage of 15 and 16, I mean that's big warning signs for me. It's tell me, why would that happen? What? Because you've gone from so much.
It's just at first I used to just love it. I used to just play it because I used to enjoy it. Ball at the feet, but then when I went to that academy level, I've experienced a lot of different things. You're the best player there, but you never got picked, never got that contract, or it's just mainly that. Would
you say then, is it a fair qualification system that you was put under?
No, I wouldn't say it was fair.
I mean, in your opinion, you feel it wasn't fair?
No, it wasn't fair.
I might be able to answer that. I don't know, with Shak being here. I don't know. Would you say it's style of football as well?
Yeah. And then when I left all that, when I was 17, then obviously my mate Nadia told me, look, there's a team like Bolton United, come watch them. So I went to watch. I didn't really want to play football in 17. I went to the Ashturf with my mates like Faisal and I was watching, and I was just watching from my side, and I thought, you know what?
To that level that you didn't even want to get. You didn't want to kick a ball no more.
Yeah, so I think that's what he needs.
That's quite a rejected kind of dejected and rejected type of a.
Yeah.
You know, you're rejected and then you're dejected, aren't you? Really? And how did you kind of overcome that? What kind of, you know, did you have any care or any sort of?
Yeah, I just think you need to enjoy it. That was the main thing. And we're watching Sal's team. I wasn't even playing for him, but watching him, I thought, you know what?
Is there any players that actually got through at Manchester United that you played with at that time?
At that time, yeah, there's a left back called Lewis. I still remember. We both went together, and he got.
Because you're a lefty, aren't you, Shak?
Yeah.
Played with bit of both, really.
Yeah, but to be honest, my left foot's my outside the foot, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think he got picked. A few others, but I think that's the main thing. And I didn't take it serious at that time. I won't lie. My dad pushed me.
What do you think there's an element in your personal self?
Yeah, I didn't see it as a career. I never saw it as a career.
But this is the thing, you see, Sol, and this is what I'm trying to drive at. This is where the mould we're trying to break. Is it because you didn't see it as a career because you felt the qualification system wasn't fair enough to get you through? Or was it your personal?
It was personal.
Did you just want to do a different job for it?
No, it wasn't that. It was just I didn't take football as a career then. I just thought it was just I was playing.
I think with Shak, I don't think he probably even that time realised how probably good he was.
How good he is.
I think I always regret it. I could have made it. I think
you could have done more. You think?
Yeah.
But you look quite relaxed about it.
I'll answer that for Shak.
You still look. No, is that a no? Because you look quite relaxed to me when you say that.
Yeah.
Or is that still inside?
I just know in my head that I just regret it. I do regret it, but I could have made it easy.
So if there was one thing that you would say to somebody in that position, in that fight, and in that struggle, and in that competition, what driver would you give them? If our viewers today and youth will be watching, and they're in that position or they're about to get into that position, and in hindsight you're here saying, you know, I could have given it more, I didn't see. What kind of message would you like to give them?
Just don't regret anything.
Don't regret anything.
Just go for it. Just go for it. Trust me.
Put everything in.
Put everything in. Just. I know you're a kid and you've got other distractions, but focus.
I think with Shak, and I'm sure you won't mind me saying this, I think I always say to him, even during the game, in terms of when we do chat something, I think it's the mental side of Shak. Constantly, even during the games or in the change or whatever, right, Shak, this is what we need to do, keep at it. I think he just needs that kind of motivation. Obviously, everyone's different in terms of managing.
Would you say there's a lot of players like that as well, Sol?
They
could be great
in our squad.
Yeah. Oh, and just generally, I mean, if you look across the country, where there's great potential, but the coaching element of it, maybe, and Shak and players like that.
Yeah, there probably is. Yeah, some people you might need to put their arms. You've got to put your arms around them. Some. You've got to shout at them. There's other ways of it all comes down to man management end of the day, and that can come from home, within the club, within your manager, within your teammates.
Would you say that if Sol, mashallah, if he was there at that time, would that made a little bit more of a difference? I know your dad was there, which always is a great confidence booster.
But I think it did. Regardless, it helped me throughout my football, because obviously it made me fall in love with football again. And even from after, I played for Bolton for a few years, but I went back into. Then I went to semi-professional.
So you actually went back again, did you?
No,
right. Excellent. Okay.
So I went. So Sal has helped me a lot. Like from that age, making falling back in love with football, improving me as 1-2 touch 5-a-side, and then from there, Bolton United for 3-4 years playing. I went to university, got into semi-pro again, and then I moved up.
Get back on. And that's when you went to there's Northwich now.
Yeah.
Is that the way you got there? So that's an interesting journey. Kind of come off, went on again.
Yeah. I think with Shak, I can still remember. Now you got to understand. I think in terms of my manager and within the team and everything, he was a big part of the team in terms of when we were winning and everything.
As an influential player,
he was. No manager in terms of would think you don't want to lose Shak.
Okay, great.
Or you don't want to lose Ayaz, or you don't want to lose Umar or Tweedy or whoever it is. Yeah. And I can still remember, we were on Blackburn Road, we were pretty late. You remember that conversation on Blackburn Road, and I drove down to his house and everything. And that's when he broke it to me, and he said, I've had an offer in terms of, is it Norwich, Victoria, Nelson or something? One of the two.
Norwich.
Yeah, it was one of the two. I never said to Shak, no, you're not going, we're doing this, we're doing that. I said, yeah, better standard, better opportunity. If it's something you can progress in terms of through the community, at least it gives other youngsters that, right, Shak's made it. We can go there.
Yeah,
we can do it.
Absolutely.
Never stayed in
if he can do it, then we can do it. Then everybody can do it. Sounds like Rocky to me. So
absolutely. And I said to Shak in terms of go and do it. And I actually encouraged him. And I said to him, I said, right, just have your mental state's got to be right. Well,
yes.
You've got everything there. You've just got to be strong in terms of what you need to do. Okay. I think the other downfall on you weren't driving.
I think I still would have been playing at a high level if I didn't have a car then.
Yeah.
Transport, yeah.
Yeah, because
I am seeing, and the viewers would also know that this transport is a bit of an issue. You mentioned before you had 7 months in your car.
So.
But yeah, driving is most definitely an issue.
It's a big issue.
So that driver and that energy is most definitely required then. I mean, it's not just a skill set, is it?
Well, it's not just Shak. We had another guy, Abu, he had trials with Everton, and that was another one. So in terms of manager, you've got your star player, another star player coming up to you, right? So this is what's happened. I said, whoa, go. That comes first.
But look, it takes a bit. I had Carl on episode 3 or 4 who's also mentioning this, that people hold on to the players and don't allow them to kind of, blossom. And, because they're no longer in the limelight kind of thing, and they feel like they don't have that control as such.
There's two things in this. You've got the quality, and then quality gets seen.
Yeah.
And then when they get seen, you've got to open your hands and say, right, go. But at the same time, you get youngsters coming through who probably think they've made it, they're good as what the friends tell them that they're good enough to play.
The levels within levels.
Never mind playing semi-pro standard. Some of them are not even good enough to play in. They're not ready to even play on our standard. So some of these guys, you tell them that you wait for your time, come be part of the squad. You need to train with the likes of Shak, Ayaz, Umar, whoever it is, Nadir, whatever. You've got to learn the trade. You understand? Because these guys are not going to be there forever. You've got to have a platform. In terms of stepping stones, so you get your 16, 17, 18-year-old coming in. They've got to buy their time, like these guys did when they were coming through. You learn
a lot of learning in that.
What happens now? They don't want to learn. If you don't play them, something goes wrong. Right, I'm off. You're gone.
And then you've got the nowadays children as well, kids.
But they're not going to learn anything, and I firmly believe in this, that you've always got to have experienced players with youth.
Like mentors.
You've got to mix it up.
Yes, experience. Mixed bag.
Because what happens is you go into a league with an inexperienced team. 7-8 games they've lost, they've drawn. The changing room's not there. The manager's lost the changing room. 2-3 years down the line, the team's folded. It's gone. How I do it, I always have a senior B team. Yeah. But I always think too. I like to think ahead. I'm already, even these guys probably know it. I'm always thinking ahead of Shak and Ayaz and all them. So alhamdulillah, we've got a few decent players coming through the B team. I've got a fantastic under 17. We've got a A and a B team coming through. Under 15s, there's some lads in there. So I know when 4 or 5 years after these guys have gone, the others.
Yeah, we start to take their positions.
To take the positions, they'll be there. So for the next 10 years, Bolton United are already we're secured.
Absolutely, you nailed it. Because that's really what I want to get into next in terms of where Bolton United are now, how Shak is influencing that. Because you've obviously gone out to Northwich and you've come back to Bolton United FC. So you're now giving your kind of experiences.
Yeah.
So you're one of the senior lads in the team. And how are you finding that at the moment? How are you finding passing your experience? What kind of questions are you getting asked?
I enjoy it because I can my obviously my knowledge from when I was at
United,
better teams. Obviously I can pass it on to now the younger lads that have come in. They ask me stuff. Obviously you tell them what to do. Yeah. Obviously, there's a young lad that's playing Cass right now.
Fantastic.
Good player. He's at left back right now. He's not actually a left back, but you speak to him.
Is that under the 15, under 17?
He's come through our B team. He's only 18.
Yeah, 18.
But what an attitude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's him, there's another lad, Taffy, and Sultan was doing well until he got injured. And that's what we look for.
Great shout out to them youth. So what's it called? The guy with the great attitude.
Kasim and Sultan. There's a few of them.
Mashallah, good.
And
what kind of feel are you getting from them? These eager guys, or what they got a fight? Where would you see them, Shak, first of all, and then I'll ask Sal the same.
Kasim is good. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I think he's going to be a big player.
He's going to be a good player. He's focused in it. You can just tell.
Very good.
Like, even if obviously you're not going to play every game, but even when he's on the bench, he's there first to training. Every time, first to training.
Big message to our viewers: first to the training, first ones on the ground.
And the lads coming through. Obviously, I can only answer for my football club in terms of what's going on. And probably Shak doesn't know his, but I had a conversation with Cass and everything. I said, when you do come, the position where you're playing and everything, you've got to look at your senior players in terms of the position, the movement, when to pass it, when not to pass it, when to positional play. In terms of you've got to, instead of just wandering around, you've got to focus. And we put him in the deep end. He's played a few big games for us this season, and he's done really well.
Would you say then, Sal, as a chairman, founder of a club, a coach, essentially, and all the players that you're working with Shaquille, I feel like you've got a great relationship, you guys, mashallah. You're doing a great job for your community. The question I have at this stage is, would you say that while senior players are in the team and you've got new players coming in at 18, 19, is there a level of humbleness and is there a level of kind of skill set and humbleness, and then the kind of, do they have to kind of come down a level to accept the senior team and the team? Is that a part of it? Do they kind of boast their talents or kind of press on their talents? Right?
I think with the lads coming through, and in terms of how we run the football club, there's a lot of respect there between each other.
There's definitely respect there.
Even with me, I think
do you think there's a level of restriction on the potential to kind of express themselves, if they're loud in character or personality, that they may see senior players and then not kind of I
think make them feel welcome, innit?
Yeah,
that's the main thing.
That's the main thing.
Even from my experiences before, you have to make them feel welcome. I think that's the main thing. Talk to them.
I think we've got some good characters. We've got Shak, there's Nadir, there's Umar, there's Tweedy. These are like bubbly characters, and they're all funny in their own way. And it's
breaking that age gap. And there's an element of that.
Yeah.
So where do you actually see Bolton United FC, and what do you personally want to now gain? Because you've achieved quite a bit, so mashallah, and you're doing quite a lot.
I think what it was when it all started it off. In terms of growing up, we didn't have these things in terms of the facilities and everything what we have now.
No, we didn't. No.
And when I was growing up, you make your mistakes and everything in life, and you learn off it. And that was my biggest kind of a factor in terms of doing something for the youth and the kids and everything.
The driver.
I wanted to get them off the streets and doing something. And if you go back to the five-a-side team, they were all 15 and 16. When they were playing for me.
Prime age to
absolutely. Some of them
to kind of take off.
Yeah, they've all got professional careers now. They're all married, alhamdulillah. They've all got kids, and to me, that's a million miles for me.
Yeah,
that's something I feel proud of. That it's something as a club and myself, that is something we've achieved. Obviously, with the players in terms of what they've given themselves as well. Because I feel sometimes that if they didn't have that. During that time when they were growing up, you don't know what kind of a route they would have taken. Yeah. But now you look at them, alhamdulillah, they're always first to the mosque. They're all
the attitude.
Absolutely, yeah. And then married, family, kids, and that's what it's all about. And even with the current team, what we have, am I right? There's you look at Nadir, and Nadir's been with us from the age of 16, a very young age. He's been banging goals in every season, probably top scorer every year. What a player.
Committed player.
Yeah, Nadir's been awesome. And I personally feel he could have gone, he's good enough to play semi-pro. Well, alhamdulillah, he's got his own business now.
Very well, mashallah.
Preston, go down to Cube. And then you've got Umar. That's another one. He's a dentist by profession now.
Yeah, mashallah.
So these things, that's what it's all about. And
you definitely look. So I couldn't emphasise. Yeah,
you've got Shak. He's in a good profession. You've got Ayaz. He's a a solicitor. So the team itself it's made up with a lot of professional, basically men now who are married and who have got children. But it just keeps us together, and with the youth coming through, they kind of look up to this, and they've got good mentors there where they can talk to and everything, and that's what it's all about.
So I couldn't agree with you any more than that, to be honest with you, because you are touching so many people. You're getting them at an age where they are vulnerable and susceptible to certain type of environments, which kind of leads them down whichever route. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the best, but from your intentions and from where you get a kick, and you know what.
In terms, the other thing is, you create a brand, and we've been going on for years and everything, and we've just had a very big sponsorship locally.
Right.
And
well, sponsors are very important.
Absolutely.
Of course, you know, you've got to run the club, and
so they call money advisor.
Billy, another guy, Billy Majid, was on with us. He was talking about sponsors for AFC Preston with EG Garages at that time as well. We had a whole episode on that.
So this guy, MoneyGram, a good friend of mine, Zoobs, and he's put a lot of money in. I don't want to mention how much he's put in, but
MoneyGram, is it the MoneyGram sponsor, is it?
It's called, Money Advisors.
Money Advisors.
Yeah, my apologies, I always get it wrong.
Money Advisors,
Money
right?
Advisors, okay. Yeah. And what he's done from our academy all the way up to the seniors, he's sponsored the full kits, the tracksuits. And even with the training wear and everything,
fantastic.
The bibs to the balls and everything, I think that's on order. That should come very soon.
How long ago was that sponsor deal?
It happened a couple of months ago, but with the lockdown and everything, we're just waiting for the orders gone through. Just waiting for the kits to come through.
Fantastic. Is that one of your friends of yours? Is it?
He's a good friend of mine. Yeah.
Money Advisors.
Money Advisors. Yeah.
So shout out goes to Money Advisors, sponsoring the whole Zubair. Alhamdulillah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make your money go further, inshallah. And the support that's required from sponsorship level, absolutely nailed it. If you get more people like yourself joining in with all the communities, just imagine the players that are being produced in X amount of time to come. So tell me more about that. So I mean, what else is required from a club point of view, and what you're currently doing, and just.
I think going on to the sponsorship thing, you create a brand, but most importantly, what I believe in is if somebody's going to sponsor you, I think they're not going to sponsor the club; they're going to sponsor the person.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think he's probably looked at me and said, right, Sal's been doing this for years in terms of what I do, and he probably deserves. In terms of what he needs now. And I think it's not just that, I think we've got the local council now, alhamdulillah, by the dua of Allah, and making, in terms of what we've got a local community club now.
Okay, mashallah.
And, we've got the local mugger in terms of, so it's going to be our little hub now in terms of for Bolton United and for the community.
You've got a home ground.
It's more of we've got an 80-side mugger there, so in terms of we can do our trainings there. And we've got a big community centre. So with the community centre, we're looking way beyond football now in terms of for our elders, where they can come in the morning, put a library in there for them. Tea, coffee, biscuits, come in, have a chit chat. Then something for our sisters where they can come in, do some keep fit classes, yoga classes or whatever.
So it's like a whole community.
Yeah, so I'm looking beyond, I'm trying to kind of looking beyond football and bring everyone together, get them off the streets.
The community.
Yeah, put a PlayStation there, computers.
Yes.
But even with the computers, we want to do something where they can do their homework classes and Islamic things and God knows, other things as well.
Great. Shak, some of the guys that you're currently working with at a young level, how are you finding their development so far? What do you think one area that they should be or could be or should be working on in terms of 11-a-side pitch and what you've learned? What's the one kind you mentioned before, don't give up, drive, continue to chase your dreams?
I think that's the main thing. I think focusing it. That's the main thing. Focusing
Would you say that how much of a diet plays a part in it? Lifestyle?
Yeah, it's everything. I think
sleeping.
Yeah, everything's sleeping's a big thing.
It's a big thing.
I used to get told.
It's amazing, isn't it? How much it matters.
I used to get told off for that a lot from my dad.
Because you stay
before a game.
You look like a bit of a computer guy to me.
Yeah. Actually,
I'm sure you're playing FIFA football.
Yeah,
he does actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the main thing, I think.
So, I mean, sleeping, just getting the body clock working right, just making sure you're geared up. How about getting onto 11-a-side pitch pre-training just before the game, on a cold day? How important is that?
Yeah, get out early. That's the main thing, innit?
Get out early.
Yeah.
So how early do you get them out?
What do you mean?
Do you kind of get them on the grass first, do a bit of drill, then get back in?
Yeah, I think we've got Abid in now. He does all. On match days we've got Fez. He does the first team warming ups and everything.
Yeah,
and
out early.
Abid does the coaching side of it on a Thursday now. So I just turn up on a Saturday. But I'm pretty old school in terms of football.
Yeah, you're definitely old school. So you're one of these
to me,
principal guys.
Yeah. So I think how you look at it, you have an hour during the week. There's not much you can do. You do half an hour, 40 minutes of fitness, 20 minutes, then everybody wants to play a game. I think in terms of the brand and the style of football, everybody knows in terms of how we want to play. But to me, I think 5 minutes before kick-off, the team talk, it's the most important kind of a thing. Am I right, Shak?
Yeah.
I think you need to get that right. I think if you mess up
set
on
up
that...
the early jitters.
I think many people have tried, but it's certain people that have that voice and you listen.
You can't be alright, Shak.
But Sal has.
I always talk about.
But going on to that, I think times have changed. I think when we had the earlier teams, I can still remember. I used to walk in and I never used to go into the changing room because you've got to set in your own ways in terms of how you want to manage and the respect you want to gain and everything.
Sure.
And I used to walk into the changing room only 15 minutes or 10 minutes before the kick-off. No training, and the big shout goes. I've not mentioned him, but I need to Shah.
Mr. Shah?
Mr. Shah, I've got to mention him. He was with me from day one, and
Is he kind of your buddy?
He used to do a lot. The kit man, you name it, training.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Even just carrying them ball bags, there's a lot.
These people, you can't forget about them. And a big shout out.
Shout goes out to Mr. Shah.
Yeah. And I
Mr. Shah did a great job. Keep it up.
Yeah, we used to go into the changing room. I used to go in the changing room. Honestly, you couldn't even hear a pin drop. Silence. No matter whether we're putting socks up or doing whatever, as soon as you walk in, it's just a level of respect. Even now, you still have respect, but I think...
it's times changing.
Times change. Sometimes they're on Twitter. Put your phone away.
I know that's it.
But you know, as soon as it's 5-10 minutes before kick-off.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, it's hats on.
But even as a manager, this is why I've been the longest manager in the Northwest.
You've changed as well as a manager.
Yeah.
He used to be more shouty, now he's more
relaxed now.
So how long have you been around?
Since I was young.
He's so young. 16, 17. I was 17.
Yeah.
And now I'm like 27.
So 10 years, mashallah. But there's always something I want to know. Is the other side of the conversations is it's great to know what we need to do. What's the one thing you didn't currently like, or what you learned from, or what you don't kind of like that happens on the pitch? Even at Bolton United FC, what do you think that's something may have a little room?
Be careful, yeah.
I hope I'm not putting just I miss Salka taking the feedback, and I'm sure he looks like a learning guy to me. He'll take everything on board.
I think this is.
If there's a change to be made, even in the current setup you're in, what kind of change?
As in for the first team?
For a player, for the first team, that you.
I think that there's certain people on the pitch that should do the talking, but our team tends to do you know what I mean? We've got big characters in our team.
That's an interesting point, isn't it?
There's a lot of big characters.
Do you know what? The message kind of gets lost.
It's a good thing he said that in terms of when he just said with the ego and everything what we have.
Yeah, a lot.
There's three ways, or a couple of ways you can look at this. If you don't have that element in terms of the ego of a player, I don't think you'd be able to have a successful football team.
I agree. Yeah? I agree.
But as a manager, whoever's in charge, and
you need to manage that ego, right?
I said to these guys, even driving up, and I speak to Ayers a lot. I said, "There's only if I, and I've tried it. I've retired once. I had to bloody come back after 4 weeks. There's only two people in my eyes who can manage this football team, and I've been asking the question to this guy for the last 4 or 5 months, to Jav Mohammed from Blackburn.
Jav Mohammed. Okay. Jav Mohammed is a
There's
name
Jav,
that we know.
And there's probably Tuffy from South Manchester Copies.
Okay.
Them are the only two strong characters who can be able to handle our football team. Because I was speaking to Jav, funnily, he came watching us about 3-4 weeks ago, and it was a big game. Avro, was it?
Yeah, Avro.
And I think I was just walking past, and I just heard a snipe myself. And I just looked, I didn't know it was Jav, and then on the way back, I looked, and I saw, it's Jav from Blackburn.
Jav's a well-known player.
Absolutely, he's a lot younger than me. I speak to Jav on the phone.
It's like when you hear Jav, you shake your butt, and when you shake your butt, you hear Jav, don't you? I mean,
I can remember Jav from our 5-a-side, 7-a-side early days into these tournaments and everything, and I always thought that I wish I could have him in our team, and he was that good, but it's not the quality what we looked at. I looked at his aggression.
Okay. This where this ego conversation and this
you
fight.
Want that. You want something like that. And I was speaking to and Jav, and to me, even with where I am.
Do you think that if the aggression and the ego works, if that's matched with vocals, does that kind of send the message off the wrong way, or is it?
No, but it's how you manage it. We have a lot of them. We have
how you manage it. Yeah, I agree.
We have Umar, Tweedy and all these, and I know that if I'm going to take this away from them, I'm losing a player. But as long as it's controlled energy and controlled vocal, then it's up to me to control them. Yeah, absolutely. Because if I'm going to say to Ayaz or Umar or Nadir or whatever, or even to Shak to a certain limit, like just button it, zip it up, I don't want to hear a word.
You're taking the flamboyancy of it.
Absolutely. And even with Jav when he was there, I spent about 70 minutes. I think it was about 15 minutes gone, and I spent 65 minutes just. I think the dugout was about 100 metres away, and I just stood with.
Were you analysing the game together? Were you?
We were, and just to where I am in terms of football, just to get the insight of speaking to someone like Jav, it's a big thing for me. And I said to Jav that. The day he's ready, my doors are always open for him. That the day he's ready, and that I'd love to. Honestly, I can go on air and speak about this. In terms of football, if I want to do something, or if I want to work with two people in terms of my football, or 3 people in terms of my football thing, would be probably Jav, Tuffy, and Yasser at Copies, because I have a lot of respect for Yasser as well. We have a very good relationship.
Yasser Farouk?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. The shout out goes to Yasser Farouk. Yep. Good man, hope you tune in, watching.
Yasser, we have
so you also rate him up there. He was very good.
Yeah, we have a lot of friends during the season with Yasser. We have a good relationship. The games are always physical. There's nothing afterwards. We shake hands and we talk over the phone sometimes. And these are the guys you respect, because to me these are footballing men in obviously the most gladiators as well. But these are the lads I know in terms of football.
Sounds like they're gladiators to me. So
yeah, and you need characters like that in this.
Yeah, so it kind of does go back to Shak. What you're saying is, if it's coming from a guy who's got that type of what could you say, sort of merit-based type of and he's allowed, then would you say when he's shouting on the pitch, are you okay with that then?
To be honest, no, there's certain people. There's certain players that should be talking. The manager, captain, I think
manager.
That's it. That's what I feel like. That's it. The rest should be speaking. Giving positive feedback to the players.
Right, okay. So other players shouldn't really be interlinking, intermingling.
Only if it's positive.
Yeah, and I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes I know what you mean, because if a mistake has happened, sometimes professional players, semi-pros like yourself, I don't put myself in that category. You know what I mean? Because. But coming back to professional players, mistakes do happen, Sol.
Yeah, of course.
We can accept that mistakes do happen.
Yeah, you learn, don't you?
And then if that mistake does happen, and then you're getting a whole load of earache, when that ball's coming down the second time, that earache is still there, isn't it? So, I mean, there is an element of that maybe we need to kind of less than that, or kick it out, or manage it like so.
I don't think
Probably
manager, I think.
right manager, the right coaching place, and channel that energy.
Yeah.
So if my viewers are taking that information on board, it's like, you know, just cut it out a little bit. Yeah, encouragement's a great thing, ego's a great thing, energy's a great thing. But
Yeah.
Shak, what's your final word on that? Just cut it out a bit, or do you want to add a little bit
I
more?
hope they're watching. That's it.
Hope they're watching.
His WhatsApp's going to be forgetting this, isn't it?
And then secondly, inshallah, my prayer and my dua is, along with Sports Talk TV, that whilst you mention also there's key players, which I've now mentioned as gladiators of the support and gladiators in our community, I think it's absolutely imperative people like Jav Mohammed take on roles which are influential. And you know, it's been mentioned a couple of times before. Shaquille Butt's been mentioned a couple of times before.
Shaq's actually, Shaquille Butt, he's played for us a few times, I think 3 or 4 times.
In Bolton, right?
I think last season, I think I was on holiday.
But I'll tell you one thing, I don't know how he gets around to all them pictures all at the same time, and not unless there's a few Shaquille Butts, but I don't know.
I think when he did come, I think you've got to give it him, because even then when he did play for us, I think he was carrying an injury, but he helped us out. So
yeah, alhamdulillah. I know that, again, it's just like yourself, so you know, you're giving something of yourself, your own time, your own effort, and you're putting it into another town, another team, and it's encouragement all around.
Yeah, of course.
It's all around encouragement, and ittefaq is much barakat in ittefaq. In unity, there's great blessing. Yeah. So as long as we could all come together, and Jav Mohammed and the like type of people in Blackburn, Preston, Burnley, Oldham, Accrington, we could all come together and unite under one support banner to better ourselves and develop as a nation, as people, and start to get that recognition solved. Would you say that's a fair statement?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and you're right in terms of what you're saying, but this at the same time, I think going back onto that, I think there's just one thing I think we've not kind of covered, which I want to mention, is our the grassroots side of our football. I think we've time's gone so quick that I've not kind of touched up on that. Now, it's obviously we've got the academy now.
Okay, Marshall. So BUFC now.
Yeah. So there's 5-year-olds to 8, 9 onwards. We've got under 10s, 12s, and
5, 6 different age groups. Yep.
Yes, yeah, we've got different age groups and everything. I want to just mention a few names. Obviously, Ili, who looks after our grassroots
the ground, or
the grassroots football into the structured side of it.
Ili,
Ilyas Jamala.
Ilyas Jamala, mashallah, shout out going out to you for all your efforts and hard work. Mashallah, continue on with your hard work.
Then there's Afi, Hassan, Riaz. And these are the guys we don't kind of...
these are kind of backstage guys.
We don't mention.
Mashallah, guys, you know, great, keep doing what you're doing, alhamdulillah.
There's Mohammed Yusuf and Zakir, he looks after all the FA things, what we do. But then there's a girl called Nazira Yusuf. So we took her on last season in terms of she does all our media side. Yeah.
Okay, so
Twitter,
that's social.
Instagram, Facebook.
The results.
She's done really good.
Out of the match,
and she comes to the games with me. I think she come once. I said no, I don't want to come, and she comes. She had a look, and now she wants to come every week. She's enjoying it that much.
Excellent.
So the hard work she's done in terms of she's got us about 3,000
followers.
Followers on Instagram.
Mashallah, great work.
Probably
great work, excellent
Twitter,
work,
and things like that. So
great mention there. So you know you're a really good guy. You know, mashallah.
You've got to mention it because people don't know. It is hard work.
Well, it's absolute hard.
And I think as a chairman or any chairman or any manager, I think what everybody needs to realise it's the hard work goes in behind the scene,
definitely,
during the week, during the morning, because my day starts from like my day starts from on a Saturday. It can start from 7:30 in the morning. It doesn't end till about 5:30.
It's an all day thing, isn't it?
It's an all day.
Make sure there's no.
You've got to go to the kiddies game. Then I've got my lad playing in one of our teams, and then you come back. You have a quick cup of tea or whatever, and then you're out with the seniors. And it's not just myself; it's with the other lads as well. So the message is that you've got to respect in terms of who's running the football club, who's managing it, who's behind it,
the
vision, what they've got. They've got everything set up for you. All you need to do is turn up with your boots and just give it your all, and just respect the management and just give
absolutely.
it
It's a massive
at the same
shout
time,
out.
I think the management at the same time you've got to respect in terms of what's coming through the doors as well. Like it's got to work. You've got to balance it out in the right way. That you've got harmony between both of you, and that's the main message. And if you do that, in terms of you'll go a million miles.
I've no doubt about it. Skill. We're coming close to the end of the show. My viewers will probably know this show's going a little bit over, but we'll appreciate, you know what I mean. Two brains, but work better than one. Shak, I would like to ask you, my friend, it's been absolutely great, you know, having your just up front, straight, honest, brutal answers.
Yeah.
You know, if I had another hour with you, mate, we'll do fine. What do you think, my friend? Well, what do you feel, or what kind of message, final message on Sports Talk would you like to give out to the youth, seniors, coaches, and an appreciation? Over to you, Shak.
I'd say just work hard, main one, but more or less, I think enjoy it. If you're not enjoying it, don't do it. That's my main thing. Football.
Don't drag your heels.
No, nothing like that. Just enjoy.
Enjoy it. If you're enjoying it, if you've got that
carry on.
keep going.
Focus,
put your blinkers on.
Listen to your dad. That's the main thing.
Listen to your parents. Listen to your dad. Yeah.
To give the best advice, and I wish I listened to him years ago. But dad's message is always
great. Mashallah, that's excellent. And I think all my viewers would already know that. Listen to your parents. Respect.
Yeah.
That's coming through. Alhamdulillah, it's absolutely massive. I listen to my dad, and my dad watches this show. So, Dad, Alhamdulillah, I'm all right. I wish the rest of the people and all the viewers also follow the same passion and make sure you do the right basic things and listening to your parents. So, over to yourself, my friend. Sorry, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for having us on. And,
yeah, absolutely.
Thanks
before we get them thanks, Rich, you can thank UCTV because UCTV makes it all happen at Sports Talk TV. What's the message you'd like to give out, first of all, just with same as Shak, I mean, in terms of all the viewers? What's your final message on that?
So you thought in general, footballing wise, or
footballing wise and general?
Like Shak said, just enjoy it and just see where it's going to take you. And if you're good enough, just have that determination, desire, and dedication in terms of just go for it. And if you think you're good enough to play semi-pro or even at a pro level, and just go and do it. And I think my message is to all the other clubs as well, that if you've got talent there and you think they're good enough, and they're probably good enough to the level where they're playing at this moment in time, just be honest with yourself as a club. Just let them go. Let them go for that dream, and let's see where it takes us. I think the other thing was, obviously we've not got much time, but there is. You look at Yasser, you look at me, you look at Jav. You had that Jimmy on. You look at Sawyer. You've got Shaky. You've got Tuffy at South Manchester. There's a lot of footballing kind of experience, and some of these lads are the way I know them, they'll be willing to put their time and effort out, and I think the next goal should be, but everybody needs to come round the table and everything, and there is no reason why we can't come up with our own semi-pro football club. I think it's, if you look at the talent what we already have, I think we've all got to be kind of honest within ourselves. As the chairman, I'll be honest with you, if it happens, and if somebody comes to me and says, we want Shak, we want Umar, we want Ayaz, whatever, I said, right, okay, go and speak to them. And I have no, if they're going to represent Asian football, and for the next generation or whatever, and it's going to be the stepping stone, because you look at Shak now, he's 27, probably another 2 or 3 years at the top. So let these guys be a foundation in terms of what we need to achieve. And then you have a stepping stone in terms of the other youth coming through to kind of take it forward.
Absolutely. Look, Sal, you mentioned earlier you've got a vision and you can't see things going forward.
Because I've heard a lot of the episode, and we all talk about why Asians are not making it or whatever, and they've got something in Glasgow, they've got this in London, and I just feel that I think we've got better quality players here, because I've been to Glasgow.
I'm with you, Sal. I'm with you, pal.
I'm telling you,
I feel that passion.
On our day, we can probably, even with the team I've got, we probably go to Scotland and probably beat what they've got there. probably go to London and beat what we've got there. But as a stepping stone in terms of as an establishment, you look around, you look at the Northwest. We've got businessmen here, we've got people with money. Let's go and speak to them in terms of what we want to do, and we can create either our own little team. But then you've got something up at Nelson. Let's go and speak to Fayaz. Let's see what he's saying.
Well, you mentioned Fayaz, and we're coming short to the show. I don't want to get too much into that. Fayaz gets another mention. What sounds like to me, let's bring all the gladiators to the Colosseum. That's what it sounds like, Shak. What do you think?
The best thing, and it's an Islamic thing, is what our Prophet used to do. You sit down, you do mashwara, speak to each other. Let's get everybody's opinion. And if someone's going to sit to me in the Northwest and tell me that we don't have quality, I'm going to say, you know what? You've probably not seen a lot of Asian players. We have got quality. It's in terms of the people behind the scene, in terms of how much effort or time have we got in terms of creating something. Have we got that time? You know, you've got Yasser, there's loads of people, there's Jav, there's myself, there's Shaky, there's so many people there who can bring this together.
MashaAllah, Sal, I couldn't appreciate enough. Thank you very much for your time. We have very short a time, we're coming over the scheduled time, so thank you very much. Final shout out.
I think you need to bring us back on, I think.
We'll bring you back on
when
we're breaking the next mould, inshallah. Then we'll come back on again. But until then, thank you very much for UCTV, for giving us the platform at Sportstalk TV. It's your host, Hussein Mahmood, bringing you live debates. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, share, get involved to break the mould. We need this change to happen, and without you guys, it's simply not going to happen. Power of the people. Make it happen. Let's do it today. Like, share, and forward. Thank you very much for your time. All the very best. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll catch you up Monday, 7 p.m. Until then, good.